What? I gotta stay hydrated, man. Mom, I got a video to record. I can't drink some water? Oh yeah, that's that good water right there. Woo! Alright you guys, today I got a very special video for y'all. Today I want to be sharing you guys the story of my college miracle. Now I'm going to be talking about, how I got into college in the first place, because believe it or not, just like in the title, getting into college in the first place is like a miracle. I'm going to be talking about my whole college application process, and it's truly a roller coaster ride. I'm also going to be sharing some more stories regarding my first year of college, how I eventually got to where I am today. Besides that, I also want to give some afterthoughts regarding how I feel about college, as well as what I'm studying, the filmmaking. So we got a lot of things to talk about in this video. And if you guys hear some noises in the background, it's probably due to my family. It's very chaotic around the house all the time. So yeah, so go on and get comfortable, maybe go grab some snacks. So with that being said, let's officially begin the story of my college miracle. Alright, so just before getting into the story, we gotta establish the background. We gotta talk about my backstories, We gotta talk about who I was at that time before I got in college. We gotta set up the exposition for the story. Wow. Yeah, I know these terms. I studied about story structures before. Yeah! So let me share you guys a little bit about my backstory, right? So, when I think about, what I'm gonna be doing in the future, because, when you go to college, you gotta be, thinking about what major you wanna be in, So when I think about me back in the days, I never really had like this big dream of what I wanted to do in the future, For me, I just always enjoyed doing some hobbies that I love, playing the piano, making videos, playing games. I was a hardcore gamer back in the days. Like, literally the first video on my YouTube channel is a Minecraft gameplay. Like, back in the days, oh my goodness. These are good memories. I just enjoy doing what I love to do. I never thought about, my future. To be honest, I was honestly kind of a obnoxious kid in school. I didn't really care about my grades. At the time, every day when I get home, I just play video games. But I did have a lot of passion on music, playing the piano, and obviously making videos. I love to make videos. It just makes me feel good whenever I make a video. It has a very unique psychological effect on me whenever I make a video. It just makes me feel so fulfilled. It gives me a sense of achievement. So that right there is pretty much who I am back in the days. So when it's time to apply for college, during the junior year, I was like, bro, I don't know what I want to do in the future. All I like to do is, make videos, play video games, freaking watch anime. Like, I didn't know what I want to do. Like, I was not ready to become an adult. I was not ready to enter the workforce. So me and my mom, we sat down on a table. We spent a lengthy amount of time, discussing some of the options I might have in the future. So at first I was thinking, okay, maybe I can apply to some music school. I play the piano, and I was looking to a whole bunch of schools. Northwestern is one of my dream schools at that time. I was like, man, it's really close around the home, and they have a really good music program. I also applied for a whole bunch of other ones. Like, I can't remember them right now. I'll probably just put them all over the screen so you guys can see. Now, they do seems to be, some pretty top-end schools, because, me and my mom, especially my mom, she really wanted me to be successful, which I'm extremely grateful right now when I think back on it. She wanted to make sure I have a good future, Now, at that time, I didn't really care about college, if I were to be humbly honest with you. But I just went along with it, Eventually, sooner or later, you gotta grow up, right? You gotta go to college, get a degree. So I applied for these colleges, recorded a whole bunch of auditions. But unfortunately, one by one, every single one of them has rejected me. To be honest, at that time, it didn't really come to me as a surprise because, I know I had really bad grades in school. I didn't care about my grades in high school. I'm quite an obnoxious kid. I'm honestly, oh gosh. I gotta make a whole nother video talking about my middle schools and high schools. I didn't start to care my grades until I was junior in high school. At the end of my high school, my cumulative GPA is 2.9 something. I was barely a C+ student. So of course it didn't come to me as a surprise that I wasn't able to get into college, I guess this also has to do with, my music experience, because for me, I only started playing piano when I got into high school. So I pretty much only have 2 to 3 years of experience before I applied for college. I didn't really have a chance to compete with other people. But I did have a lot of passion in piano though. And, I even participated in a lot of, recitals and piano competitions. Like, you guys probably can also see a whole bunch of music awards behind my back, which is why I decided to shoot this video in a different angle today, because I got a lot of these I want to show you guys, like over here. So over here, I got my certificate for completing the Achievement in Music program. Now for the guys that don't know, this is basically a program that trains your music skills on piano and music theory. And usually this will take people over 10 years to complete. And I was able to get this within 3 years. It was truly incredible. Like, I was really passionate in music, and I still remember back in the days, I used to have a piano teacher that come over to our house to teach me how to play piano. And he said I truly have a lot of talent. And over here, I got a whole bunch of music award for piano competitions and recitals. Like I'm not over here trying to brag about my music achievement, but I truly had a lot of, talent, potential, and passion towards piano. I really loved it. And I also got a whole bunch of medals for piano competitions. Like, I really had a lot of passion in music. I am just so grateful that my mom has invested so much on my artistic side in the past, for me to be able to play such difficult pieces. It just makes me feel really happy, and I am still playing piano to this very day. But back to college application, right? So unfortunately, I got rejected by all the schools, I would assume it's mostly because of my bad grades, You gotta at least have a 4.0 to get in those college. Like, at that time, my SAT is not that great either. I got like a 1250. For you to get to those, really good top-end prestigious schools, you gotta at least have like 1400 plus. For me, I wasn't able to get in there. It's due to my poor academics. So it was really a shame. And honestly, I feel like, regarding to my piano skills, even though I had that talent, be able to, make so much progress within just 3 years, there's no way I could compete with people that has, invested their lifetime into this. Like, many people probably have played for over a decade, ever since they're young. I didn't have a chance. There's no competition. I could not compete with those guys, So unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it in, It's really a bummer, because that's my greatest potential right there. It's the only thing that I received the training on. So with that option out of the way, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can do some theater school, For me, I enjoy doing acting, making videos, a big part of me to, put on a show, just like how I'm talking to you guys. So I applied for a whole bunch of school, which I also put on the screen. But unfortunately, once again, every single one of them rejected me. I guess it's probably due to the same reason, I had bad grades. My family's talking. Just one more to make a freaking video, man. I'm gonna make videos outside of my house some days. I'll be back. It was really unfortunate. I guess it's also due to the same reason, I had bad grades in school, poor SAT scores. I pretty much had no chance of getting in there. Plus, I didn't really receive, any professional training in acting, so I wasn't able to get in. So at this point, I am starting to feel a little bit worried, because it's already like way past the early decisions and regular decisions. Like, we're already like into the new year around January, and at this point, I'm starting to feel desperate. I did not know what other options I have. Some of the greatest talents and trainings that I got in my life were all down the drain. I did not get into a single one, and we only got like a few more months before the new school year starts. So like, at this point, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should do a gap here, maybe get some internship experience, maybe go study abroad. But as many of you know the situation of my family, I grew up poor in a single mother family with 2 younger siblings. So we did not have that money to do a gap year. So I was like, okay, maybe I should just take a year off. We can try again next year, get another year of music training in. But, knowing how we are in family, my mom really wanted me to get in college and graduate as soon as possible and get a job, which I do understand, we live in kind of a poor family. She needs me to join the workforce, But, I just feel like I really want to try again, So finally, as a last resort, we decided to apply for some film schools. And as many of you know, based on what I'm studying right now, that is exactly where I got accepted. Now, at that time, I didn't really know anything, about the film industry. I never really even watched any movies at all. Like, we don't even have a TV at home. I don't watch TV. I don't watch movies. All I know is, like, I watch some anime and, I watch some YouTube videos. That's what it is now. This is what Gen Z is like. We don't really be watching TVs that much anymore. Well, at least that is, my experience. I don't know if you guys watch TV, but I never really watched any TV growing up. No. It is a completely new thing to me. I didn't know anything about the film industry. All I know is, I kind of enjoy making videos. I like to edit videos, shoot videos. I thought there might be some correlation, between the filmmaking and, video making, Obviously I could have gone to study other majors, I could study about financing, economics, business, all these things that people do. But it's just not who I am. For me, I don't really like to work with numbers, nor do I want to be, working in an office 9 to 5. Other things like medical schools, law school. Like for me, I'll never be a lawyer. Never in a million light years, I will never be a lawyer. Like as many of you know, I value a lot about peace. Law. Like if you study law to become a lawyer, you're always gonna be fighting civil cases and all that. Like I will never in my lifetime, I'll never be a lawyer. Just no. Yeah. So I didn't really choose any of this because it's not who I am. I'm not a mathematician. I don't do any of this numbers, data. It's not who I am. So yeah, back to my college application, right? I applied for a whole bunch of film schools, and in the end, as many of you guys already know, DePaul is the only one that's accepted me. And they even gave me almost full scholarships, like 80 to 90% covered. Now at that time, I really didn't know if I wanted to be studying DePaul. I didn't know, if film really is something I wanted to do. It's a completely strange topic to me. Like I really was thinking maybe I should have just taken a year off and try again next year, but once again, my mom urged me to go to college. She wanted me to get a job, which I don't blame her. It's tough to be the only one providing income in the family. She has to work hard to support the family, which, once again, I don't want to talk too much about my family. They really don't want me to be talking about them too much. So yeah, in the end, I was able to make it into DePaul studying filmmaking. And during the summer, I packed up all my stuff and I moved into the campus. So now I finally got into college, right? And at this point, you'll probably assume, everything's gonna be smooth sail from now on. Yeah. I got in college, I finally go get my degree. All the sacrifices and struggles finally paid off. I made it to college, I got in DePaul. This is wonderful, right? Nah, my boy. This is where the real struggle began. As many of you guys probably already knew from my previous videos, I struggled so much during the first year of my college. Yeah. So let me break it down for you guys, right? At that time, when I got in college, I had no idea what am I even doing there. And to be honest, filmmaking isn't how I imagined it to be. I wasn't really interested in filmmaking, if I were to be humbly honest with you. It was just too different. I knew nothing about the film industry. I don't watch any movies or TV shows. I was a complete outsider. Everybody in class talking about, the Oscar nominations, all the new movies, the TV shows that's coming out, and I was just in there like, bro, what am I doing here? Like everybody be like, oh, you heard about that new movie just came out? Oh, it was so good. And I was like, yep, you're right. Like I did not know what I'm doing there. I felt like I didn't belong there. Everybody talking about all the movies and TV shows. Well, I'm just over here thinking, okay, what am I gonna do after class? Should I go grab a lunch? Should I just go chill in my dorm, play some video games? Like, I did not know what I'm doing. Like, at that time, I also really struggled with focusing in class. Like, at that time, oh my goodness, I still haven't discovered about self-improvement yet, and my attention span was at its lowest I've ever been. Like, my bad habits was at its peak. All day, every day, I would just sit in my dorm, play video games, scroll on social media, just indulge in the instant gratifications to my heart's desire. Yeah. My dopamine receptors was literally fried. They're so fried to the point that they literally look like charcoal. Like, it's burnt. I could not sit in class for more than 10 minutes without getting bored. I was like, bro, I don't want to sit in this classroom listening to this person in front of a class rambling next to a PowerPoint for 3 hours straight. Like, I did not care. I wasn't interested in filmmaking, nor was I interested in being in class. I was completely off track. I guess this also has to do with my struggles in middle schools and high school as well. For me, I always feels like I struggle to focus in class. Now for me, I never got a diagnosis of ADHD, but deep down, I do feel like I have ADHD. Trying to pay attention in class has always been my struggle. Even back in the days when I was in high schools and middle school, I would always have an assistant teacher next to me, making sure I'm staying up to task, getting all the stuff done. When I went to college, I didn't have any of that. Everybody expects you to be an adult. You know, you gotta take your own responsibilities. You know, if you throw me in college at that time, oh my goodness, he's doomed. He's not gonna get anywhere. He's literally lost. He have no idea what he's doing. You know, that's what I was at that time. You know, I did not care about all my grades. I didn't even care about going to class, to be honest. Like some days of the week, if I didn't feel like going to class, I was like, bro, I don't care about filmmaking. I don't care. I didn't even go up to class. You know. Now at that time, I did not just go complete degenerate mode where I'm just, you know, wasting my life away. I did still have passion in music though. You know, for me, luckily they have a school of music very close to my campus. Sometimes I would go book a practice room. You know, I would go there and practice piano. And at the time, I still had a ton of passion in piano, really. So even though, like, you know, I don't know what I'm doing in college, like, I still spend my time, you know, doing some productive things, you know. Like, even at that time, I got so into music that I literally signed up for music theory class, you know, just to keep me interested and actually go to class and talk to somebody. Because believe it or not, I did have social anxiety at that time. I never talked to anybody. I was completely a loner. I did not have anybody to talk to. I'm just walking aimlessly in college. So I signed up for some music theory courses. You know, I was able to, you know, talk to somebody that, you know, can relate to my hobbies, you know, talking about music. And I did have a lot of fun with it, you know. It's literally my favorite class at that time because all the other classes talk about things like history, about films. Like, I don't watch movies, like even like some courses like rhetoric, composition, which is talking about like writing. Like, bro, I'm never gonna be a writer. You know, for me, like, that's probably the most fun I ever had, you know, actually having a class that I enjoy. Like, at that time, I was pretty much like the teacher's pet. Like, in the music theory class, we would always have like a piano in front of the class, and I always go play the piano before the class starts. Like, my teacher calls me the prelude artist of the class. Like, oh my goodness. That just shows how much passion I had in music, man. At that time, it was also still during the quarantine, so I'm not really going out much. You know, all the time I'm just chilling in my dorm, playing video games, watching anime. Like, I pretty much binge watched the entire Attack on Titan series and a whole bunch of other anime. Like, I was really, you know, doing all the things I loved. Besides that, I also learned a bunch of Japanese. Yeah, Nihongo wakaru yo. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. At that time, I also tried out a whole bunch of other hobbies. Like, I even tried to learn how to make video games, you know, learning about coding. Spoiler alert, I didn't get far. It was just too complicated. But I did have a lot of fun doing it, though. I was pretty much just living my life at that time. I was living my life. Like, if I get hungry, I can go grab a meal in the cafeteria. If I want to play piano, I can just go book a practice room, you know, go there and play to my heart's desire. Like, I was completely neglecting my college studies. I didn't care about studying about filmmaking at all. No, I was just living on the top of my life, doing what I loved. I have nobody bothering me. You know, I'm just minding my own business, doing what I love. You know, also since I'm living far away from my family, we don't really talk to each other that much. We pretty much stopped communicating with each other. You know, I guess she also, you know, just want a person out of the family so the family can have some more space, you know. Because believe it or not, our family is, you know, really crowded. And again, I don't want to talk about it too much. So, you know, once I move out of the family, like, we pretty much just stopped talking to each other. So this pretty much went on for many, many months. You know, I was failing a bunch of courses. You know, I even got on academic probation. So eventually my mom found out about me failing in college. You know, she got really upset. And ever since that point, we just remain on contact, you know, making sure I'm passing all my courses. You know, and as of right now, I'm just trying my best, trying to, you know, catch up. Like, she really wanted me to graduate on time, which, you know, I do understand. She wanted me to succeed. And that right there is pretty much the first year of my college. It really had a rough start in my first year. But I gotta say, those couple of months definitely has been some of the most enjoyable months I've ever lived. So yeah, eventually the year was over, you know, the summer came. I have to end up taking some summer courses, you know, just to catch up and try to graduate on time. Also, I've been working, you know. And around the summer, that is when I discovered self-improvement. And I really started taking care of my health, you know, making sure I'm doing all the good habits, trying to improve my mental health. And eventually the sophomore year started, I moved back to the campus, and that is when I made my comeback video. I'll probably put a video right here. That is basically when that happened. You know, I got on self-improvement, my mental health has gotten a lot better. Ever since I got back, I'm just, you know, doing my best, trying to pass all the courses, even though I didn't really like them, you know, but I just sort of went along with it. And at the meantime, you know, I was doing all the things I loved. You know, I uploaded a whole bunch of piano videos. You know, it was wonderful. You know, I was doing all the things I love. I even went to hit the gym. Like, at that time, you know, oh my goodness, ever since I got on self-improvement, everything just became better. I was improving my mental health. I was also exercising in the gym. There's one time I ran 3 miles within just 35 minutes. Like, I was really healthy, skinny at that time. I will say that right there is probably the best time in my life. I was living in a dorm. I only had like one roommate at that time, and most of the time he's not even in the dorm, so like the dorm is pretty much mine. I had all the peace and quiet. I can make videos, do what I loved. I was really living the best life. Like, I was also eating very healthy, doing all the things to improve my health. And just when you think everything is good, but eventually, as many of you guys already know, that I ended up moving out of my campus during winter. My family was really struggling financially at that time, and I can no longer afford to live in a campus apartment. For me, my tuition fee is pretty much covered, but the dorm fees, the food, that is not covered. So we was pretty much paying that out of our pockets, but eventually we ran into financial struggle, and I can no longer afford to live in the campus. So eventually I started commuting, and as many of you guys already know, I spend about 4 hours every day commuting from home to college. That right there pretty much just turned my life upside down. Every day after I get home, I just have no energy to do anything. I just want to eat, go to sleep, and next day wake up, it's just another repeat. I was truly, I would say those are definitely the hardest time in my life, which is why, in my previous comeback video, I called it 2023 is the toughest year of my life. That is exactly what I've gone through. For me, I pretty much struggled commuting for a whole year. Yeah, it's just been a lot of struggles. For me, my family is very chaotic around the house. Yeah. And also have been taking a ton of courses, trying to catch up. A lot of time I have to take like 5 courses a quarter, Yeah, it's been really tough. Like, literally, like, I'm recording this video on spring break, and my next quarter is gonna have 5 courses in it, and I have to commute to the city every day. Oh gosh. Like, the commuting definitely has been the hardest part of my college right now. And that is how I eventually got to where I am today. Just commuting to college, trying my best to catch up, to pass the courses, to get my degree. And to be honest, I don't even know going to the college is even worth it at this point. I just feel like I spend so much energy just to learn something, I'm not like really into. Like, even though, now I studied about film for over 2 years now, I'm a junior right now. But then again, I'm not interested in watching movies or TV shows. It's just not what I am. I don't really find pleasure out of those things. Especially if you also look at the way how AI is going right now. I don't even know, if we're gonna have a job in the future. Like, obviously, like all the data jobs, numbers, AI is gonna be really good at. But even for like creativity jobs, like making videos, creating films, like even AI is smart enough to do that. Like, the other day, I saw a news article somewhere that talked about the Sora, the AI software, is able to generate really realistic movie scene in just a couple minutes. Just think about how long AI has came out. It's been like little under 2 years, and this is how far AI has gotten. Can you imagine a decade from now? We're gonna have full-blown feature film being generated by AI. We're living in a whole new world right now. I don't even know if film is really something that is still worth pursuing. For me, I just doing what I love to do, which still plays the piano every day. Doing what I love, making videos, talking to you guys. If I were to think about my passion in making video right now, I want to share my life story. I want to document my journey in life. Sometimes I just feel like, is college really worth going to anymore? Especially AI is all around. Like, if you look at all the successful people out there, they're pretty much all college dropouts, doing entrepreneurship, which is also something I'm thinking about. I just feel like, since college degree is more and more common nowadays, it's not going to be as valuable as before, But then again, I got in college with, almost full tuition, I was able to learn a lot of these stuff with little to no cost, So even though I'm not really interested in filmmaking, I could still learn something, For me, ever since I got on self-improvement, learning has just become something that I do normally. Besides that, recently, I also have been getting more into spirituality as well. I would pretty much say it is like the next level of self-improvement. Like, they be talking about things like raising your frequencies and vibrations through love and peace. They're talking about like activating your third eye, aka decalcifying your pineal glands, doing meditations. All these things does sound really sophisticated, and it goes really deep into that, which I'm not going to be talking about. But I just feel like, ever since I got on this, I just been feeling like I'm living happier. Another reason why I got into this is, the self-improvement community has become quite toxic over the years. A lot of people has gotten onto this community over the years, but I just feel like, there's just too much hate. It is almost kind of a hostile community to be in. But ever since I got onto spirituality, everybody's just so nice. They be giving gratitude to one another, peace and love, which is exactly who I am. I want to spread peace and love to everybody. This is also kind of why, I enjoy making these videos, talking, sharing about my life stories, spread peace and love to everybody. Our life is hard enough the way it is. I want to make your day a little better by making videos to y'all. You also make me feel really fulfilled whenever I make a video. It's truly wonderful. So yeah, regarding to what I'm going to do in the future, honestly, I don't know. Especially, with our fast changing world nowadays, like we're literally living a whole new world right now. With AIs and everything. Even though I don't know what I'm going to be doing in the future, I'm going to keep moving forward, doing what I love, playing the piano, making videos, spread peace and love to everybody, Anyways, that right there is the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. In the upcoming weeks, I got a lot more videos coming up. I'm sure you guys are probably curious, what is it like for me to be commuting from home to college? I'll give you guys a sneak peek right here. Yeah, so this is like a documentary film that I made for a class project. I had a lot of fun doing it. It's basically like a POV view of what it's like for me to commute to college every day. It's going to be an upcoming video on my channel, so stay tuned for that. Besides that, I also have a bunch of old audition videos as well when I was applying for theater school. I did a whole bunch of monologues, which I'll definitely also be posting in the upcoming weeks as well. So stay tuned for that. And if you're still watching video at this point, go ahead and check out my vlog playlist. It's a bunch of very lighthearted videos of me with my family. And recently, I uploaded a new vlog of us going to a botanic garden. A lot of beautiful plants, beautiful sceneries there. Go ahead and check it out. If you're interested, I'll be putting a link down in the description. So anyways, that right there is my college miracle story. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Got a lot more videos coming up in the future. Stay tuned for that. So with that being said, that is the end of the video. Much love and peace to all of you. And I'll see you all next time.